at your desk in the office. You might, but you can chant it in your mind. You can have it going in the background, so we can always enjoy this. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Very wonderful. Do we have any people that are here for the first time? First time. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? It's hard for me to see. All right. I think we have 5. Yeah. Working this old guy to death. He's no young chicken either. What did they say? 5? Oh, somebody help me with this. I hate laws. I wouldn't drive as fast as I want to drive, But no, there's these laws. And these people that get in the way. If you want to do the speed limit, why don't you get over in the other lane? I grew up in Chicago, so we drove like that. So, yeah, what is this law that I'm talking about that even if we don't agree with it, or even if you say you don't believe in it, it still applies to you. It's like you could say, I don't believe in gravity. Yeah, but you're still stuck to the ground. But I don't accept that as fact. So I'm talking about the law of karma. That as you sow, so shall you reap, as it says in the Bible. You do something, you get it back. Science says, who is it? Sir Isaac Newton. Was he a knight? Why do they call him sir? I thought he was just a scientist. Huh? He was actually knighted. Oh, cool. That's how you get to be called. So Sir Isaac Newton says that for every action, there's an equivalent and opposite reaction. So even science knows this. This is a fact. Where I grew up in the hood, they say, hey, man, what comes around goes around. Or what goes around comes around. Well, both of those are true, I guess. It doesn't matter. So we kind of know this, don't we? So if you do good, you get good. If you do bad, you get bad. But boy, it's hard to do good all the time, isn't it? So, and some people start out trying to do a lot of good things, and they wonder, why do bad things still happen to me? You ever heard people ask that? It's kind of like sometimes when I travel in the wintertime, you probably had this happen. All of you probably experience this. You get up in the morning, you're going to take your shower, and so it's cold. It's in the wintertime. So you turn on the water in the shower, but it's way cold. So you got to wait. And some places I've been at, it seems like several minutes for the warm water. So what I'm doing is I'm exhausting the cold water that's in those pipes between me and the water heater. So karma is like that too. You have a lot of icky karma. It's kind of backed up out there. So you may start doing really, really good, but it may be a while before you get all of the just desserts that you feel that you deserve. So we may always feel that from time to time anyway, we may feel, I'm not being treated fairly. This isn't fair. First of all, nobody guaranteed you that this is going to be a fair world. And secondly, yes, it really is. There's nothing more fair than the law of karma. You do this way, you get that. You do that way, and you get that. It's fair. Krishna is totally fair. And Krishna doesn't have to sit up there and say, with a list, you keep a list. Oh, you did a naughty, so you're going to get a. He doesn't have to do that. God doesn't have to punish or keep a record of what you do. He's got this nice law of karma that works all by itself. Now, of course, sometimes Krishna may say, well, you know what? I'm really liking you a whole lot. I mean, you're chanting Hare Krishna so nice. I mean, you grew up a musician. You've got all this talent that I gave you. And now here you are using it for me. my gee whiz, I think I'm going to erase some of this karma that you have, this bad karma. I'm going to take it away because you've pleased me. You see, he has the right to do that. So, but anyway, this is kind of a confusing thing if we really think about it. If we're always doing good, we may think we should always be receiving good, but it's kind of hard to always do good, isn't it? It really, really is. So, and we have to consider all the not so good things that we've done in the past. Not just this lifetime, but we've been here for billions of lifetimes. So I don't know how full your excess baggage is, but I know mine was pretty full, until I met my guru, my spiritual master. And between him and Krishna, they said, here, we don't want you to carry all this stuff around. So take it over here. So that's the process. What we want to do is to be able to do stuff without worrying about the return. You see? I don't want to think about when I'm going to do something, gee whiz, am I going to get a good or a bad return? By the way, to make things clear, we in the West only hear about this word karma. And so actually, there is not just karma. Karma really means you're getting the return or the reaction for good activities. And then there's vikarma. Now, that's not so good. That's the payback for our bad things when we were naughty, you see. But we don't want either one of them now, do we? Who wants good karma? Does anybody want good karma? Yeah. No, I don't want good karma, because if I have good karma, then I have to take birth. I have to come back here to accept my good karma. Well, it means another birth means a guarantee of another death and everything that goes on in between. Old age, disease, and all these other things that we get caught up in the material world. So is there a way that I can just behave, perform my activities, and not worry about any of that stuff? So yes, there is. So I made some notes here. We must always engage in so many activities to keep the body and soul together. Got to work, So we've got to do some action, some activity, and there's always some reaction to our actions. Good, bad, whatever. So, wow, you can't go through life saying, okay, I'm going to do, well, wait a minute, is this good or is this bad? How's this going to, you can't really do that. But due to the law of karma, all actions have reactions. So how's it possible to be always active, but escape the reactions of our actions? We can do that because there's this thing called akarma. Akarma means I do something, there's no reaction at all. Not good, not bad. So Krishna is going to explain to us. I'm going to read from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verses 56 through 58. Stop me at any time with a question or a comment, please. So Krishna says in the 56th verse of the 18th chapter, though engaged in all kinds of activities, my pure devotee, under my protection, reaches the eternal and imperishable abode by my grace. So Krishna is telling you, look, if you work for me, well, I'm going to hold the umbrella over you so the falling karma doesn't touch you. You don't have to go through this action and reaction if you're performing your activities as an offering of love to me. That's not good or bad. It's transcendental. It's performing a loving action towards the source of love, Krishna. You're being engaged in loving devotional service. So therefore, Krishna says, since you're acting on my behalf and you're acting to please me, then I'm going to see that you don't get any reaction. You don't have to be concerned about any of that. So now somebody out there might be thinking, let me see, yeah, somebody's thinking, well, can I do anything as an offering to Krishna? Anything that you can do as an offering to Krishna. Now, some whimsical thing that you do, it's kind of hard to offer that. In love, it's whimsical. But if you're thinking that I am your devotee, Krishna, I'm placing myself under your protection. And I'm actually thinking like that. I am your devotee. I am your servant. I'm here to make you happy. And I'm therefore placing myself under your protection. Now, I always was under Krishna's protection. But before I came to that realization, I acted whimsically. I did whatever I wanted to do. Sometimes I might believe in karma, and if I was naughty, maybe I don't believe in karma this week. We've all had flickering consciousness like that. Some that I know have changed spiritual philosophy so many times in their lifetime. And you see them, you say, they're talking one thing. You see them a while later and they're talking something else. And then you see them, it's like, hey, what are you into now? What have you cooked up lately? Something. Well, that's the I do my own thing, folks. You ask them, what is your faith? Well, I do my own thing. So, wow, you invented a religion. You invented a path to return back to the Supreme. You must be really special. That's probably why someone wants you to think that, I don't know. I do my own thing. What is your own thing? I did my own thing when we talked about this yesterday. I did my own thing when I believed in Santa Claus. But I didn't have enough brains to know different. And then I got to the point in my life that I was really smart. And I can really do my own thing. I was 16 and I knew it all. Then later on, I got much smarter. Then I could really do my own thing. I could invent a religion because I was 21. You see, it keeps changing as you go about. Has anybody here ever made a mistake? Yeah. So if you're going to quote unquote do your own thing, how do you know you're not making a mistake? You're prone to making errors. What is it? The four we're living entities are prone to make mistakes. We're prone to come under illusion. We've all done that. We have imperfect senses. Our senses don't work right. Turn off the lights, my eyes don't work. I can't see anything. And we have a tendency to cheat. Since we all have a tendency to cheat, there's going to be a likelihood that we get cheated. So the guy who was telling you about the religion that he pulled out of his sleeve, he might be mistaken, or he might be just trying to cheat you. But you become influenced by the illusion that he's whispering in your ear. So we don't want to go that route. We don't have to go that route. It's like if you wanted to go to a friend's house and you use the GPS. Everybody here uses the GPS nowadays, right? Yeah. So the GPS. Why do you use a GPS? Why don't you just wander around and make up your own path to get to your friend's house? Because you really want to get there. Well, why don't you just make that up too? If you can make up a religion, you can make up a path to your friend's house. You see what I mean? So we need help. We need help. It's not hard to admit that. We need help. God? Don't you think that requires a little bit of help? So I'm going to read a sentence has in the purport here. Yapasraya means under the protection of the Supreme Lord. To be free from material contamination, a pure devotee acts under the direction of the Supreme Lord or his representative, the spiritual master. Wouldn't it be nice if you're trying to find a spiritual path, find someone who has one, and not one that they just kind of pulled out of their sleeve? When it works, when it can be demonstrated here and now, not just a promise that, hey, do this, and when you die, let's see if it works. No, something that you can actually attain spiritual enlightenment here and now. Someone asked Srila Prabhupada one time, how long does it take to become totally spiritually realized? What did he say? 1 minute. And then he yelled it again, 1 minute. But you won't do it in a minute because you don't have full faith in that process. You still have some faith in the material energy. I'll get some enjoyment out of this material world if I just continue on. Maybe if I go back to school and get a better degree, then I'll make more money. And we all know that's a guarantee of happiness, right? No. So if we find the spiritual master and we place full faith in that bona fide spiritual master, you can become self-realized in a minute. But most of us won't do it in a minute. It's going to take much longer to shake free of our conditioning, our material conditioning. Krishna says in the next verse, in all activities, just depend on me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. So Krishna reveals himself again and again. What does he want from you? I mean, he's really greedy in the love department. How much of your love do you think Krishna wants? All of it. He wants you to be fully conscious of me. I want you to think of me all the time. You see, I'm the source of everything. I'm the source of love. I'm the source of beauty. And I love you more than you can possibly imagine. Imagine being loved. I'm just asking you to be fully conscious of me. Not treat me like some thing that's off somewhere that has no identity, no personality, no face, just a bright light or a nirvanic stage. These are real places you can go, but you're not going to get love of Godhead. You can go to nirvana, you can go to the Brahmjyoti. You're not going to get loved because there's no personality there. You're all caught up in your own thing. You see, that own thing keeps tripping us up, has been tripping us up, and it will continue to trip us up until we start wondering about Krishna's thing. You see, my own thing is always going to give me trouble. Krishna's thing is, he says here, I'm going to deliver you back to my home, your home. I'll just work under my protection. I'll protect you from karma. I'll protect you from the modes of material nature. I will protect you, but you just need to work with me here. Give me all of your consciousness. I want you to think of me. I want you to think of me and nobody else. That's what lovers do. When you're in love, you just can't think of anyone else but the one you're in love with. So in the third verse here that I have, Krishna says, if you become conscious of me, you will pass over the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness, but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. Now, that's not a threat. It's not like I'm going to send a thunderbolt to, it's like in the GPS scenario I was talking about. You put in the destination you want, and the GPS gives you the path. If I work on my own false ego. If I say, well, I don't know, I think I could go, why is it always a she? You ever notice GPSs, they're almost always a her. I guess because we listen to what women said, but we listen to our mother, so it kind of works, But anyway, the GPS says turn left here, and you think, you know what, I kind of like what's over here, I want to go right. You act whimsically, you will be lost. This is what Krishna is saying. He's not saying, I'm going to come after you and punish you. I'll give you the direction. I'll protect you. You can work for me and with me. We'll work together. But if you don't follow, if you're going to do, what is that again? Your own thing, you will be lost. Krishna doesn't say, could happen, you might get lost. No, he says you will be lost. Who knows the direction to his address better than the person who owns it? So if we're trying to get back to the spiritual world and Krishna's saying, well, you turn left here and you go right there, I'm thinking he probably knows better than anybody else, even your own thing, how to get back home where you came from. Krishna is saying, I want you to come home and I'll help you every step of the way. I'll give you instructions, but you're going to have to find my representative. You're going to, all through Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, and Srila Prabhupada says again and again, you need a guru. You need a spiritual master. Don't try to do this on your own. This is too important to try to do on your own. You may try to fix your computer on your own. And maybe many of you know how to fix computers on your own. But there are some things that you're obviously not that good at on your own. You're not very good at finding the spiritual world on your own because you know what? You're here. You're in this material body. Huh?
Good indication.
It's a really good indication, isn't it? You're here. You're facing, like all of us, I hate to get into this topic, but we have to talk about it from time to time. We're all facing death. Now if we don't, what is our guarantee that after this death that I know I've got coming, it's probably not that far away. What is my guarantee that I'm not going to take another birth? I don't want to do that. You see, I'd like to go back home. And no more birth and death, no more disease. And I'm telling you, I don't want to get old ever again. I'm tired of it. This is the only time I can remember getting old. I've gotten old. Have you ever thought about this? How many billions of times have we gotten into old age? Except for the times that we were in a life where maybe a rabbit and we were just a couple of weeks old and we were eaten by a dog or something, But in our human lives, a lot of times the human beings live until old age. I forget, there is a percentage. The actuaries know the percentage of people who live into old age. They have to do that to calculate insurance rates. So many people are going to die prematurely. But most of us are going to live to old age, and it's just not fun. There's an advantage to living to be old because at least I can still pursue spiritual life and try to get it together. Find the spiritual master, Hare Krishna, and go back home, back to Godhead. So I probably have time for maybe one question. Oh, that was fast. You were cocked and locked, weren't you? Quick draw over here. Yeah.
I just had this thought that you were giving the GPS analogy that if you do take a wrong turn, it always reroutes and comes back and tries to get you back on track. So kind of Krishna's like that. No matter how far you go off, Krishna's always like, turn here, come back. And it keeps at you until you go back on the route.
Krishna's like, this is a good point. If you do make a mistake or intentionally make a wrong turn whimsically, the GPS will just reroute. Okay, instead of taking I-10, maybe you can take this, you fool. One of these days they're gonna talk to us like that. You idiot! I said turn left. So okay, you didn't. So now go up here, turn right, and do this and that. So yeah, Krishna will. Okay, I'll reroute it. I'll give you another shot.
So I'm guessing the point is not to try and use good karma or bad karma to compensate for Krishna, but just let it be.
Let it be. Live for, make your life an offering of love to Krishna. And therefore you've got no karma. Whatever karma you have, good or bad, that's going to dissolve. Krishna will take care of that. Because he says here, you'll be under my protection. If you want to act whimsically, we want to do our own thing, then you got to pick up the tab. That's only fair. It's not like Krishna will say, hey, do whatever you want. I'll handle all the karma. Don't just, be whatever kind of person, believe in whatever you want. I'll pick up the tab. No, you're acting whimsically. The tab comes to you. So you work it out. Krishna says, I'll protect you every step of the way. I just want you to be conscious of me. It's pretty nice to
We're
have.
going to be in both. We're going to be in good karma. We're going to be in bad karma. And we're human.
Yeah, we're going to make mistakes.
So protect the steps.
But if we make a mistake while we're trying to do an offering of love to Krishna, he looks past that. He doesn't see the mistake. He sees you were off making an offering of love to me. Krishna doesn't have to keep score. Well, you did bad, you did good. If you're trying to live your life to please him, you're going to make mistakes. He's not nitpicky like that. Really good point. Thank you so much. All right. Thank you all so much for coming. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Stick around. We're going to have a really great kirtan. Hare Krishna. Come on, oh, hard.